Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. One of the best games of Week 2 will take place in Provo, Utah, as number 9 Baylor takes on number 21 BYU. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to want to stay up for this game. Yeah, it doesn't start until 9:15 Central Time, but you're going to want to stay up for this game and this battle between the Bears and the Cougars. Two great offenses, two physical defenses, a game that has playoff implications, a game that for me isn't getting talked about nearly enough. But we're going to talk about it today, breaking down everything you need to know for the Bears and the Cougars and who is going to win this battle on Saturday night. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We thank you so much for joining us today. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below. Guys, we have some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Go sign up for those expert picks today. Again, using that link below. We want you to take advantage of that. Take advantage of the big winnings, hitting over 60% of our bets each of the last 2 weeks, beating out over 80% of the national analysts each of the last 4 years. Take advantage of those picks, guys. Again, one of the lowest prices in the country for some of the best picks in the country. Go sign up for those picks today. And check out Prize Picks as well. Use our promo code GRIDIRON over there. Sign up for Prize Picks, guys. If you go sign up using our promo code and bet on Tom Brady to complete just one pass on Sunday night, you automatically win because he's going to complete way more than that. So take advantage of that, guys. Great offers down in the description below. Make sure to go check it out and help us build our GE Nation. So you take a look at Baylor and BYU, guys. Last year, these two teams met in Waco, and Baylor ran away with that game, literally beating BYU, I believe it was by 14 points. I would not expect a similar game on Saturday night. I think this is going to be a much closer game and a much more competitive game than we saw last year. You take a look at the offenses first, and we'll start with Baylor, the road team, a top 10 road team at that. I think there was a lot of shock earlier in the offseason when Dave Aranda came out and said that Blake Shapen had won the starting quarterback job over Gary Bohannon, who eventually transferred to South Florida, USF. But we believe he made the right call. Shapen went off last week. First off, he led Baylor to that Big 12 championship game, was the starter against Oklahoma State, led them to that victory. And then last week against Albany, a 69-10 win, went off. 17 for 20, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only 3 incompletions on the day. Baylor's offense, guys, as balanced as they were last year, one of the most balanced offenses in the country last year, was balanced again in week 1, 314 passing yards, 259 rushing yards. But we said back in the preseason that one of the biggest concerns for Baylor for us was the skill positions. They lost a lot at running back. They lost a lot at wide receiver. How quickly were those holes going to be filled? How quickly were they going to be able to fill those positions and give Blake Shapen some options and some threats at running back and wide receiver? Well, they look to be pretty solid right now. Again, it's only been 1 week, but they looked good against Albany. You have running back Richard Reese, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. They also have Quaylon Jones, who also made a major impact against Albany last week. So kind of a dual threat there at the running back position. 9 players last week for Baylor caught at least 1 pass. So they spread the ball out equally, spread it out very well. Monterey Baldwin led the way with 4 receptions for 84 yards and a touchdown. But ultimately, guys, Baylor's going to need everybody to step up in this game. Albany is not BYU. BYU is not Albany. There's a very big difference there, and they're going to need some big-time performances from someone not named Blake Shapen. They're going to need guys to take the load off of Shapen's shoulders if they want to have a chance to win this game. When you look at BYU, they're coming off a win over Gary Bohannon and USF, beat them 50-21, jumping out to a 38-0 lead. So they kind of slowed up a little bit there in the second half. But Jaren Hall, phenomenal quarterback. To me, he's a guy that doesn't get nearly enough credit with BYU. 261 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. And one of the bigger names that no one else is talking about among BYU and really in the nation is Christopher Brooks, the transfer running back from California. Made his name known last week against South Florida. 135 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. So who's Tyler Algier? I don't know. BYU has to deal with post-Tyler Algier life. Christopher Brooks comes in and says, y'all are going to be just fine at running back. I'm going to help you out. The Cougars rushed for 312 yards against the Bulls in week 1. Obviously, Brooks didn't have all of that, but this is still a run-heavy team, a team that can beat you up front in the line of scrimmage. And we know, guys, that Baylor has one of the best defensive lines in the country, which is why this battle is going to be very interesting. BYU's offensive line, and really the trenches, period, are usually pretty solid, but is the offensive line going to get enough push against this Baylor defensive line? That's the question, guys, because BYU did have 2 rushing touchdowns last week of at least 50 yards. That's ultimately the key for Baylor, as we just mentioned. They've got to find a way to shut down Christopher Brooks. If Baylor can force Jaren Hall into a pass-only situation, I think Baylor's going to be just fine. Baylor only allowed 87 rushing yards to Albany last week, which wasn't a bad mark at all. And if I'm Baylor, I'm thinking, all right, shut down Christopher Brooks, make BYU's offense one-dimensional, and the key word there is unbalanced. Baylor was so balanced last year. They were balanced last week. Same for the Cougars. Both teams actually put up exactly 573 yards of offense. How weird is that? The exact same number. But for Baylor, shut down Christopher Brooks, limit the big runs, force Jaren Hall to beat you through the air. And we talked about this on one of our live streams the other day, talking about Baylor's pass defense. What do they have to do to stop Jaren Hall? The biggest thing is limiting the big plays and holding Jaren Hall to the short and intermediate passes. Don't let him beat you deep. Don't let him be able to hammer you on the run, because what does the run do? It sets up the pass, right? So you can't allow Christopher Brooks or whoever is running for BYU to pick up 5-6 yards per carry, handoff, handoff, handoff. Next thing you know, Hall pulls it back, beats you deep. They've got to stay disciplined. I would say Baylor is one of the more disciplined defenses in the country because they're led by such a great head coach in Dave Aranda, one of the best defensive minds in the country. But Baylor has to make sure they limit the big plays, hold Hall to the short check down throws, short intermediate throws, and when he does that, Baylor has got to make sure they're making the tackles in open space. Don't allow many yards after the catch. Don't allow many yards after contact. Make sure to put BYU on their back. Get after them. Shut down the run. Hold them to the intermediate throws. No throws longer than 20 yards. Baylor is fine. That's what they have to do. BYU, defensively, they have another strong one. Kalani Sitake has done a phenomenal job building up this team. What is that, 21 wins in the last 2 years? The defense is elite once again, but the problem for BYU heading into this game really is just shutting down Blake Shapen. It's a good thing for BYU when it comes to that is, does Shapen have the weapons necessary to exploit this BYU defense? Shapen's a great quarterback. He's accurate. He takes really good care of the football. BYU might not have many opportunities for a turnover. They might not even force a single turnover, and that's not really indicative of their defense. That's more so of Shapen and Baylor taking such good care of the ball. It's not that BYU's defense is unable of forcing it. It's that Baylor's just that good. But my question is, does Baylor have the skill positions? Can Baylor get anything going against this BYU front? Can Baylor get any run game going against this BYU defensive line? Can they remain balanced? 259 rushing yards for Baylor last week. Can they get that going against BYU? Additionally, can Blake Shapen handle the secondary? And is he going to have the wide receivers necessary to gain that separation? Baylor's going to need to take some shots. They're going to need some big plays to kind of take that crowd out of it in Provo. Is there anybody there that can do that? We talked about Reese. We talked about Jones. We talked about Baldwin. All those guys. Yes, that was great, but it's Albany. This is different. This is BYU. What's going to happen? I really don't see Baylor having much success on the ground in this game. So very similar to both teams, it's going to come down to quarterback play. If Baylor shuts down the BYU run, BYU shuts down the Baylor run, which offense, when it comes to skill positions and quarterback, is going to be able to make the plays down the stretch to win the game? That's what we're asking now. Our final analysis, guys, I'm looking at this game. It's 2 even teams. Number 9 in the country, number 21 in the country. Great quarterback play. For me, I hate picking a winner in this game. I have so much respect for both teams and so much respect for both coaches. It hurts to pick a team to have to lose this game. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm going to go with BYU. I am picking the Cougars to win this game. I believe BYU owns the skill position edge. They own the edge at running back. They own the edge at wide receiver. Maybe not at quarterback, but it is close. Baylor may own the defensive edge, especially in the front 7, but to me, guys, the defensive difference is not that significant. These two teams are both very, very physical and very even on both sides of the ball. You factor in that, guys, this is BYU's home opener. It's their home opener at night in Provo against a top 10 team, a future Big 12 rival. BYU moving to the Big 12 next year. They'll be facing Baylor probably annually, so a great little preview there. BYU, I know a lot of fans feel disrespected, feel like they should be ranked higher than 21st. Saturday night is an opportunity to prove that they deserve a higher ranking. And I believe they will prove it, and I believe they will get it. In a close game, one possession comes down to the wire. BYU's defense comes out with a crucial stop, and the Cougars upset Baylor in Provo on Saturday night, get their big-time signature early season victory, and also shows, guys, that they're going to be ready for the Big 12 come next year. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and, of course, check out everything down in the description below, guys. Those expert picks are over there, over on thegridironexpert.com. Make sure to sign up for those today. Also, make sure to check out Prize Picks. Use our link or promo code there to get that 100% sign-up bonus and win some big-time money. Go check that out. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.